We are live, Mr. Gracey, show 72.
Hey.
What up? Welcome back, dude.
Thank you. I was convalescing last week. Sick as a dog.
Did you catch the show? I fucked with the audience. I said that you and I fought. You were fired. Bobby was fired.
I heard this. No, I didn't watch it, but I heard.
And then
great. Why not take advantage of it? Play a little joke. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, we are live, Chad. Oh, Chad's not here. He is fired. Daphne was like, what? Oh my God. Daphne was freaking out. We got a cool show on today, though. Cool guest coming on, Mr. Joey Gaynor. Mm-hmm. He is in the green room right now, chilling back there. He is a actor, writer, comedian, done some cool stuff in his life. So we're going to learn all about him, have some fun.
Call him a veteran of the industry. He's been around for a long time, which is always great.
Time.
Yeah.
Done stuff for terrestrial radio. If you folks out there remember what that was. Terrestrial radio.
Good old terrestrial radio. Yes. That used to be the only radio.
Yeah. Remember when you had just AM, dude? That's fucking where it got real squirrely. Let me see if I can bring this up. Share window. Oh, if I share the window, it won't play the fucking sound. Bobby, do me a favor. Pull up, look up the Selena Gomez crying video because I have it.
We're going to go right into it, huh?
Oh, yeah. I have an article on it for my news section, but it won't play the sound. So,
well, the first thing I want to say about all these people that are crying about removing all these actual criminals, like they didn't just come in criminally, it's illegal to cross the border, but they're actual rapists, murderers, child molesters. They're rounding up the worst of the worst, gang members, worst of the worst. That's who's going first. And now you have Selena Gomez. Like, well, first of all, you never heard any of these people crying when Obama deported millions of people. None of them were crying. None of them said a goddamn word.
True.
So if it's okay for your god Obama to do it, why is it not okay now? Why is it inhumane and all this bullshit they make up? It's just like, shut your mouth. It's getting done. They're here illegally. Period. Bye.
Later.
See ya.
I don't understand what her deal is anyway. I mean, like you just said, they're here illegally. So it's
right.
It right then, it is what it is. Why would you want people here? Let's just say they're all good until you round them up and know, and look into their background and stuff. You don't know. So it's like, why would you want people here that you have no info on? I would rather round them up, get them out, have them come in legally, and then boom, we know who's here. We know if they're criminals, rapists, all that jazz.
She's worth $100 million, lives in her mansion. No, none of these people can get to her. They're all in the neighborhoods with the regular people who have to deal with them and their crime and their fucking bullshit. And plus, just the amount of freebies they got from the U.S. government is ridiculous. It's insane.
Yeah. And meanwhile, people are living paycheck to paycheck or no paycheck, fucking having a hard time feeding their family. And people are living in hotels, getting cell phones, getting all that jazz. Bobby's got this video for us.
Sweet.
Say that I'm so sorry.
Sorry, I can't help laughing. Fucking
hilarious. Oh, this is it. Bobby, look for one where it's a full video. You could actually play it and check it out before you put it up on there. It's like a 2-minute thing. Yeah, it's this whole thing, but not yeah.
I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
I think her dad's Mexican and her mom's white. First, and it's like, she's born here. It's like, shut up. What are you doing? And
Gomez.
How do these people literally? It's not like they get on and they obviously were crying before we got on, or fake crying, whatever they're doing. It's so fucking ridiculous, man. It's like, you're either stupid because they're deporting actual illegal people or people that have committed crimes. That's what they're concentrating on right now.
Right.
Or you're just doing this for show and acting. Either way, it's bullshit.
Right. Well, before you play that's exactly what it is. Like, you're coming across incoherent. Your words you're not being eloquent. If you were serious about this, you would gather your emotions together, write down something serious, and then put it out eloquently and actually state your case. This is a strict cry for attention and look at me, look at me.
You just look insane too.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. I'm so vigilant in being so upset over this deportation that blah, blah, blah. Get the fuck out of here. Go ahead, Bobby. Close that and play it up. This moron.
I feel more confident.
This is me, and I love it. I have lost 41 pounds.
Oh, of course, we get this on CNN, so we gotta
57 pounds.
Yep.
With
that.
Lower that while it's playing through, and then. Yeah, baby. Gotta love ads. Gotta love ads.
Speaking of CNN, Acosta's out. He got fucking brutalized by who was the Burchett? I think his name was.
Oh, I don't know.
I think his name was Burchett. Something Senator or Congressman Burchett. He was.
There we go.
We'll talk about it.
Only people are getting attacked. Children. They don't understand.
I think that this is an issue for some people that is extremely.
And you never will understand.
Bobby, do you have the one I sent, the black dude making fun of all these people, but saying like all the positive shit he's doing? That one's fucking
That's
great.
the best, man.
Do you have it, Bobby? I think I sent it to you on Instagram.
You got that, Bobby? Oh, I turned him on for a second. All right, no problem.
Yeah, we got to play that one some point here. When you have it up, it's fucking great. It's so funny.
Oh, I should play this for our audience while Bobby's looking for that. Something lighthearted. Celebrity sports. Here we go.
Triller TV presents Celebrity Sports Inc. 8 amazing sports with tons of America's top celebrities from your favorite TV shows and movies. Their debut event is Celebrity Flag Football. Celebrity Flag Football begins June 1st with 2 star-studded packed teams. The Celebrities versus Air Force. This event will be hosted by legendary DJ from SiriusXM. You've heard him on Ozzy's Boneyard, Hair Nation, and plenty of other stations. The one and only Tommy London. Your celebrity commentators giving you the play-by-play action is first up, the iconic star of the new adventures of Pippi Longstocking, Miss Tammy Aaron. Next up on the color commentary board is a man you might recognize from the movie The Scorpion King and plenty of others, Mr. Branscombe Richmond. Now let's get to some of the celebrity starting lineups from the 2 teams. First up on the roster is Ice from the hit TV show American Gladiators, Miss Lori Fetrick. Next up, the face of the hit TV show Naked and Afraid, Mr. E.J. Snyder. Next up is your favorite star from the hit movie franchise Power Rangers, Mr. Blake Foster. Now we have one of the baddest females to enter the octagon, UFC's very own Miss Miranda Maverick. Next, from a little competition called Squid Game, Mr. TJ Stooks. Now up from the hit TV show Baywatch, Mr. Jeremy Jackson. From Marvel's Black Panther, Dr. Hassan Rashid. Now don't forget to head over to CelebritySportsInc.com to register for your chance to win a tiny home by Barn Brothers Buildings and Celebrity Sports.
Now that announcer sounds familiar.
You know. Hey. Jeremy Jackson from Baywatch, Chad. My God, is he?
Like, Jesus.
He is sexy, dude. He has really come a long way. Oh, that's right.
He's all buff.
He is all buff and jacked.
Look at the butt on that one.
Yeah, look at the fun bags on that hose hound. I watched some kind of documentary. He like went off the deep end and I think was like crystal mething it out for a while. And
have you seen pictures of his former girlfriend who's on the streets now?
No.
She was a hot model, fitness model. And he got her in all kinds of drugs. She lives on the fucking streets in LA, like in Skid Row.
Oof.
Sad.
Yeah,
but
man.
What do you do?
Well,
but
I mean,
also, Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, you got to kind of be in that light where you could have went that way and avoided it, because I was gonna say it's easy. You could see how somebody could kind of gravitate towards that when you're out with models all the time, you're partying, drinking, you know, you got some
I never fucked
celebrity.
drugs. I just
No.
was not into it. No thanks.
Yeah, thank God too, because you never know. Here I got a fuck, marry, kill for you, and you're gay.
Yes.
You're gay in this fuck, marry, kill.
Damn it.
Fuck, marry, kill. Ed Kowalczyk, Chad Taylor, Patrick
Oh.
Dahlheimer.
Damn.
Yeah,
Wow.
baby.
You gotta fucking do that one?
Yep. I'll give you mine
Jesus.
afterwards,
Oof.
and then I'll tell you why.
Oh, I don't even want to answer that.
I know
That
I know
pending
that-
litigation I got to worry about, so I'm not answering this.
All right. Well, I'm going to. Ideally, I would marry Patrick because I just think he's like the cooler one out there. We'd have
That
the
would have
best
been my
relation.
pick for Mary. Yes, okay.
But I'm gonna marry Ed so I could divorce him and take all his money.
Okay.
I'm going to kill Chad Taylor. Just why not? And I'm gonna fuck Patrick.
Yeah. That one's too close to home.
Yeah, I knew it was, but I had to put it out there, folks. What else? I got a bunch of cool stuff for us. Bobby, do me a favor. There was some Blockbuster store that was open like way past the other Blockbuster stores I heard
Yeah, it was in
about.
Oregon.
What?
Yeah.
Like for a while after, like what the hell was going on
for
there?
years, like decades after. I think it's finally closed, but yeah, I think it was in Bend, Oregon.
That's freaking funny, man.
The last one.
Last one standing. Oh, I got a funny. Well, it's not really funny, dude. I was just thinking about it the other day, and I'm like, I should talk about this on the podcast. When I was like 17, 18, I used to get pop from this lady in the town I lived in, and she was like an older lady. She had kids. I feel like she was on like, you know, like government assistance and shit. Like the house was just kind of crazy. But she was this big old fat lady. Like I'm talking could have been on like my 600-pound fucking life or whatever those
Right.
shows are. And you would go in to get the weed, and like she would make you like smoke a bowl with her and stuff. Hold on, Bobby, with that. I'm gonna share in a second. And she had this dog, and this dog was cool with people coming in. But the moment you went to leave, this dog would fucking go nuts, like rabid, fucking foaming at the mouth, going to eat you every time you would go to leave. You walk in there, no problem. The moment you went for that door, dude, it was the scariest fucking thing in the world.
Cujo on your ass, huh?
Yes. And
Uh-huh.
I have no idea how I found this lady, like how I figured out she was a pot dealer and all that jazz. But I remember I used to shit my pants every time I had to go because, I mean, there were times where like, you know, they would hold the dog and then at times it would break away. Somebody would have to jump on it. Like it was close call numerous times. So every time I'd go, dude, I would shit my pants. And I'm thinking about it, I'm like, you're a fucking idiot, bro. Like now you would never catch me doing that. Like I would not smoke weed, you know?
Yeah.
But back then I'm like, what the fuck? And to this day, I have no idea like what the dog's deal was. Like, why would it allow you in the house? But then when you go to leave,
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's like reverse behavior. You think it would attack you when you came in.
right. It was so creepy, dude. And she
That's
was
weird.
strange, man. Like she's like a 40-year-old lady. She's got like younger kids in the school district and she's just selling weed to everybody in town. Like it was fucking
Right,
strange, dude.
I think the better story is what you need to figure out is how the fuck you found her.
Yeah. I have
mean,
no
what was
idea.
the first time you went to the house? What was that like?
Well, from the moment the first time it happened, so it was like immediately scared from time one. I just remember how I think I worked at a sub shop. Maybe she came in and blah 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 blah. I mean, that would be the only thing I could think of because other than that, like I wasn't running in her circles. But crazy, dude, crazy. Wild, like what the fuck, man? Like I could see if I was like a crackhead or needed to get heroin, like putting myself in that predicament. But for weed, bro, I'm thinking, I'm like, you're an idiot. All right, let's bring on our next guest, Mr. Joey Gaynor.
I'll play that video after.
Oh yeah, Bobby. Sorry about that. We're gonna play that afterwards, Bobby. It's around time. Mr. Joey Gaynor.
Can you hear me?
I can,
Yes,
but
sir.
Huh?
yeah. Can you do me a favor? Go into the settings, and there should be an audio option, and then click the echo cancellation.
How's that?
There we go. I think we're good.
Okay.
Well, now we can't hear him.
I'm wearing headphones apparently for no reason.
Yes.
I don't think I need them. I'm going to my sound settings now.
Okay.
And it doesn't look like I'm going to need them. It's not the bleeding of anything. So
Sure. Whatever works best. There you go.
I'm going to take them off, you know.
Boom.
And first of all, just you guys don't drop enough F-bombs. I'm pissed off. More fucking
shit,
F-bombs
damn
on
it.
this show.
Woo! That's what we brought you on for,
sounded-
Joe.
No, what you sounded like, it sounded like I was at my cousin Mike's house, my uncle Emilio's house, you know, and on Christmas and New Year's or Easter when they're playing cards and the grown-ups are in the kitchen, we're in the living room, and all you can hear is the fucking five. Fuck. I'm gonna get some gula the mother. You know, that's pretty at home here. By the way, I was listening to you guys talk about the deportation. I live in Tucson, and there's a detention center about 5 miles from me. And
wow.
Really, this state is not crazy like other states. When they get people, they pretty much bring them back on a bus. And I don't know why they're flying them, because Tucson's been sending them back by bus. I mean, it's anyway, but it's really funny. Let's use regular airlines. A regular airline, if you do that, it's $8,000. A military plane's $800,000. Somebody sit down with a pen and pad, will you? Clinton did it. Everybody goes, oh, Clinton did it. Clinton sat down and Letterman asked him, how did you balance the budget? He said, well, it took a pad and a pen. And I sat down and balanced the budget. He figured out. So, come on, man. You're already blowing a lot of money here. I don't care who won the election. I do, but I don't. It's over. The point is, I'm glad there's no people going, I don't know who to vote for. I can't find the information. I don't know who to vote for. Oh, you can't find the information on the candidates? No. Oh, how big was P. Diddy's dick size? Oh, 9 inches.
Exactly.
One on the web. I looked it up. He had baby oil. Oh, but you can't find the. Anyway, well,
Joey,
I'm awake now. I've only had 7 coffees. You know.
Let's go.
I don't know. They're moving a house in next door to me or something. I don't know. No, seriously. I live in a mobile home, one of those communities, and they're moving in a new house.
So you have all that background noise. So I feel like we have Joey for president coming up then, because
yeah, I'm old enough to run. I'm going to be 70. Now in this country, you have to be like my age to run. God forbid you're younger.
Apparently.
And I want to pick a real young, dumb comic to run with me. So that's
hey,
you know.
There you go. That's me. Well, I guess, but you seem to talk well and walk well. So I don't know if you're qualified to be president.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I take my vitamins and what's that Prevagen bullshit? I don't take any of it. I got type 2 diabetes. I take whatever the doctor tells me to take, and I stop worrying about it. I don't have any worms in my head. I've never eaten roadkill. And my father died in 1963, exactly 2 days before John Kennedy was shot. And with all these conspiracy theories, I'm still wondering, what did he know? So,
are you saying that your dad maybe was part of
I don't know. His last words to me was, I'll be back Saturday from Dallas. And
wow.
No.
Wow. No, I believe you, Joey.
What am I, Woody Harrelson over here?
I believe this, man. I believe you just opened up a can of worms here. Conspiracy theories coming at you.
Watch out.
You want a good conspiracy theory? Open up a can of tomato sauce, of homemade tomato sauce out of a jar. That's a conspiracy. I'm half Italian, so, you know, the other half is Irish. I also have Latino blood, but that's on the bumper of my car. Police matter. And I don't want innocent people getting involved here on the chat or something. So,
you know, Joey, I actually have Latinos in my family tree, and they're still hanging from it, dude. So I'm not really into your joke about the bumper and the blood. So
the truth is, the God's honest truth is, I have in our family, we have Irish, Italian, German, Polish, Scottish. We have Filipino, Spanish, Japanese. We have just about everything but black. And if Nicki Minaj would drop that fucking restraining order, we'd have black in my family.
There you go.
But no, we have an array of people, and we're a melting pot in America. Just show up and just don't look. My grandfather got here in 1899.
Jeez.
Didn't get his citizenship papers until 2019, and he worked every day. He was a porter in a fucking bowling alley because they wouldn't give Italians great jobs. You know, they wouldn't give the Irish great job. They gave us shit. They gave the Jews shitty jobs. That's why we, you know, so when black people get angry, I understand it, man. You know, you look back at how everybody got treated when they came here. They were brought here. They didn't just decide to get here. They, you know, but the only thing I've actually ever agreed with Donald Trump about, and it's very funny, is when he said people come here from their country because it's a shithole. And I said, well, that's not the way to say it, but yeah, you're right. Because nobody comes here going, oh, it's good. I used to love when I was a kid and we'd have immigrants move in and they'd say, oh, my country's better. Well, why are you here?
Right.
So, you know, oh, well, you know. But,
he is often not very eloquent, but he says
it's not. But you know, we're all just Americans trying to find eggs.
I think we all agree that we like legal immigration. We are fine with
that. I don't have a problem with legal immigration. I mean, there's some of my friends I've got to sneak them in and out because we got business. But
we're all just squirrels trying to get a nut to move that butt. You know how that goes.
We're all just nuts trying to eat squirrels. We're not sure yet.
That's true.
You have to watch the Alienation channel to get all the answers.
So wait, Joey, you're in Tucson, Arizona now?
Yes, I've been. I came here. I'm writing my book, and I wanted to. LA was really getting crazy. Rents were going so high that it was nuts. I mean, and again, a lot of that comes from in the 90s. Certain entities came to this country, started buying up everything and buying up people's houses, and just shot the rents up. And it just got worse and worse.
Are those Jewish people?
No.
Chinese people?
No, these were people from China or Iran or.
Listen, I live in Irvine, so I know well about Chinese.
I lived in Whittier. I lived in California 47 years. I lived in Whittier, then I lived in Sherman Oaks, and then Van Nuys. And the homeless thing got so, you know, look, you go back to look when it started. It started during the Reagan administration. He signed the bill to take all the funding away from the, let's put it out there, the nut houses, I'm sorry, but the asylums and the and whatever, and these people got dumped on the street and they still have nowhere to go. And you can blame Reagan for writing and signing the bill, but you can also blame every fucking president since and every body of the Senate and the House who have not reversed it, changed it, done anything about it. They just keep going, oh, you got homeless and it's terrible. Well, you know, and it's gotten crazy there. Anyway, I moved here, the most unambitious town in America. And
Tucson.
No, it's a great little town. I'm having a good time here. I just got back from California. I did a weekend there in Hemet.
Hemet.
Good old Hemet. All right.
Hemet.
Reason why I brought it up, Joey, is June 1st, Celebrity Sports is hosting its first event in Tucson, Celebrity Flag Football. Maybe you want to go check that out. See if you can get involved. Triller TV presents it.
Oh,
cool. Pippi Longstocking is going to be there. Tammy Aaron, Jeremy Jackson from Baywatch, a bunch of cool people.
I wonder if they want Frankie the Rat from First and 10, the most hated character the show ever had. 4 episodes and people wanted to murder me.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm walking down the street in my First and 10 jacket after the show came out, and guys would drive up, slow down, and start yelling, I saw what you did, you motherfucker. I mean, it's a show. They're like wrestling fans, you know.
Yeah. Speaking of, you mind if I show a picture of
Oh, go for it.
All right, cool.
That's why I sent them. I'm still looking at them, but no.
Where did it? Okay. Perfect.
Dr. D. David Schultz.
Well,
That's great.
Well,
this
no.
picture
Yeah, go ahead.
you're looking at is New Year's Eve, 1980 into 81.
We'll start from the right here with this gentleman.
That's very young Dice Clay.
You know who he looks like, Joey, or who looks like him here?
Who's that?
Have you ever heard of Kill Tony Hinchcliffe?
Oh yeah.
It's weird.
I
We
know
just
I
noticed
don't
that.
know him like hang out, but we've met.
Right.
Then that's Andy Lederer, Andrew J. Lederer, actor, comedian, writer. He's in New York now. The fella with the mustache, the big guy, that's Freddie Asparagus. Everybody remembers him as the bartender in Three Amigos.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He was also Baby Hernandez in Havana, and he's the sidekick of Andy Garcia in 8 Million Ways to Die. And we were a comedy team. We were stand-ups, but we also had a comedy thing we put together. And we would do this wrestling bit where I was the manager taking advantage of the wrestler that didn't speak English. And it was actually hysterical.
Was this anything to do with that or no?
No, this came later. It's so funny. 1984, I was at a wrestling show in Los Angeles at the Olympic Auditorium, and Adrian Adonis came out, and I started a chant because he was stomping around in his black leather jacket, and all that stuff. And being a wrestling fan at the time, knowing nothing about anything, I started to chant Adonis is a FAG. Okay? And the whole place, 10,000 people are chanting it. Now he's got his hands on his ears. This is 1984, ladies and gentlemen, so don't start crying.
Yeah, right. Don't cancel Joey over it, please.
Yeah, this is way back when I've got gay cousins, and they're not in show business. They can't help me, so fuck them. No. I have gay. Look, they know I'm not about. I don't care what anybody does. Seriously. So anyway, 10,000 people are chanting it. All the bad guys are running out of the dressing room. They got like the 5 guys with their hands over his ears and everything. So the show goes on, and at the end of the night, we knew the guy that ran the Olympic Auditorium, basically, Les. So we're going over there to talk to him, say thanks for setting us up and blah, blah, blah. And I turn around, and there's Adrian Adonis standing by the loading door with his bags, like a little kid lost in the mall. And now I got to go out that door, and I'm like, I got to walk by this guy. Jesus Christ. And I walked by, and I said, well, you know what? If you're going to get punched out, you're going to get punched out. I walked up, and I said, Mr. Adonis, great show tonight, blah, blah, blah. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah. And I said, I'm sorry. I'm the guy that started that fag chant.
Nice.
And again, no offense to anybody out there. I really don't care. This is wrestling. Wrestling before the internet was the first virtual world. Okay.
That's right.
Yes, it was.
So he looks at me and he goes, "You started that?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Oh man, that got me over so big. Did you see how crazy they went? You gave me an idea." And he didn't talk like Jesse Ventura, but he was excited. Idea, blah blah blah. So we start talking and talking. Wound up, he missed his flight. He missed going to the airport, whatever. So we went to my friend TJ Schwartz's house, and TJ was the editor of Tough Stuff magazine for the card collectors and everything. And we go to the house. We're there all night, and then Keith gets a ride from TJ's friend, who happened to be down from Bakersfield, and that's where Keith lived. His name was Keith Frank. Keith lived in Bakersfield, so they rode back up together, and we started to correspond. We talk on the phone a lot and everything. And about a year and a half later, he gets to LA and misses his flight to Bakersfield again. So I go pick him up at the airport. I grab him and I bring him back to my house in Whittier. And at the time, I lived in Whittier, and I would go on the road, and I lived with my mom, basically, because it made no sense to have 2 apartments. It would be stupid. And she didn't drive, etc. I'm Italian. We don't leave our mother when they're 70. We don't leave. So anyway, he comes over, and my mother was a gigantic wrestling fan. On her deathbed, she was heckling Jerry Lawler, okay, on television.
wow.
I swear to God.
Nice.
So he comes over and everything, and I said, yeah, grab the couch here, blah, 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 make yourself at home. So I go and knock on the bedroom door, and hey, Ma, listen, we have a guest overnight. Who? I said, Keith. Who's Keith? Adrian Adonis. His real name is Keith, but Adrian Adonis. Adrian Adonis? What, are you crazy? Are you serious? So the next morning, I get up. It's about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. I get up, and I come out to the kitchen. I jump in the shower, come out to the kitchen, and there's Adrian Adonis. There's Keith sitting at the table having breakfast. My mother made breakfast for him, bacon and eggs, everything, like Goodfellas. Come on in, I'll make you something to eat.
Yeah.
So all family photos are out on the table. And I go, what's going on? And he looks at me and he says, we're cousins. I said, seriously? He goes, yeah, your mother's grandmother's name is Caputo, and I'm related to the Caputo. And he did look like a lot of people in my family, the same.
That's crazy.
And so we found out we were related.
Wow.
And, now, fast forward to 1987. A wrestler named Pistol Pete used to live in the houses that were over by my uncle's office. And one day I walked to the liquor store, get a soda, I'm walking back, and here comes this wrestler guy I see on TV, locally, Pistol Pete. And I go, hey, how are you? Nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. My name's Joey, blah, blah. We start talking, and I tell him I'm a comedian and an actor, and he goes, yeah, we're starting a new wrestling thing. It's called Muscle Rock. It's rock and roll and wrestling, and we're looking for another announcer. We have one guy, but we need somebody, blah, blah, blah. So we get together, we have a little meeting. He takes me over to the promoter's house, the promoter, Eric Shaw. And Eric Shaw, New York credit. Anyway, shout out. Anyway, we go over there. And,
Shout out.
Yeah, and we go and blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to do my first wrestling show in December of 1987. And I dressed up for it. I wish I still had that tuxedo jacket. It would be worth a fucking fortune. Anyway, they tell me that Dr. D. David Schultz is going to be on the show. I'm going to be interviewing him. This is right after John Stossel, not too long after the Stossel incident where he smacked him around. And oh, wow. So I called Keith on the phone. I said, yeah, I'm doing the show. And he's giving me pointers on how to conduct myself around the boys. Don't, I've never done this, although I've been a wrestling fan forever and I could pretend I've never done it for real. And I said, well, I got to interview, David Schultz. I mean, I don't know. And he goes, oh, let me give him a call. I'll let him know who you are. And, very nonchalantly. So he calls me back. He goes, yeah, you're all set. Don't worry. He knows, blah, blah, blah. Just go up, introduce yourself, and you and him work out the interview. I'm like, wow, So I go the day of the show, and I walk up, David, Joey, I'm, Fabulous Ray for this. I'm Fabulous Ray Fabiano, but Joey is nice to me. Oh, yeah, man, Keith's cousin. Yeah, how you doing, man? Yeah. So how you want to do this? I said, well, you're the guy. I said, how do you want to do it? I said, I'll do it. I'll do the cue from you because it's your character. He says, all right, well, ask me a couple of questions. I'll start out nice. Then I'll go crazy. I said, great, man, I'll get out of the ring. He goes, that'll work. And it did. He starts out here, this photo, he's like, well, I'm glad to be here in California. And when I get a hold of Harley Davidson, and he just goes nuts. And
Nice.
I slid right out of the ring. And that was really a lot of fun. It really was. And to get to work with him, young Eddie Guerrero, the Guerrero family, a great wrestling family, Chavo, Mondo, Hector, Eddie, the four brothers. The father, Gory Guerrero, was a world-renowned luchador. And I got to work with some great people on that
That's
show.
awesome.
Huh?
What organization was that for?
That was the IWF.
Wow.
They didn't have a name, and I came up with the International Wrestling Federation, otherwise known as Muscle Rock Madness, and we would have a band play in between the matches. The other show I did like that, because this show, Muscle Rock, was being written by Johnny Legend, the Rockabilly Bastard, great performer. And he and I got together and we started to write the shows. And then we were doing something he'd already been doing, incredibly strange rock and roll wrestling. And that's where you'd have like the opening match, then the Bomboras would play a set, and then another match, and then Big Sandy and the Flyboys would come out, and then another match, and then, London After Midnight would play.
Big Sandy and the Flyboys, those are my jam.
Yeah,
Love those
yeah,
guys.
I worked with Big Sandy a couple times. He's great. And so we were doing these shows in LA at a place called Moguls in the late 90s into the early 2000s. And celebrities were coming to the show, and wrestlers were showing up. Like Spicoli would show up and hang out. And what's his name? Lionheart, Chris Jericho would come and hang out. Just hang out in the dressing room.
Wow.
And my character for that show was L. Ron Farrakhan, who was buying up Hollywood Boulevard to make parking lots because LA needs parking lots. And I would hand out personality tests because it was kind of a takeoff on like Scientology and Buddhism, whatever the hell. I mixed it all up.
Yeah.
I would hand out these personality tests. I would hand out 100. I'd get 98 back. People were so into it. And one night I was up there doing my whole preaching thing about unity through division. Yes, we all live in our own enclaves. Yes, we want to be with our own. And that is because we like being with our own. But when there's a problem, the Americans, we band together. This is called unity through division. I got the place chanting unity through division, the most ridiculous thing. And I feel the weight of a bear on me. And I turn and look, and it's Chris Farley.
Oh, shit.
Grabs the mic, and this man's doing God's work. You must listen to this man. And for 10 minutes, he's up there with me, and the poor guy was just soaked. Even his sport coat was just sweated through.
Wow.
I'll just say this. Whoever was around him, handling him, supposed to be making sure he's all right. They didn't. And
Yeah.
the poor guy went, it's sad. A talent. I mean, what a great talent that guy was. He made me laugh by turning his head. Okay. I just thought he was a big kid that was so funny. And, but yeah, that was the other show that we were working with, and that, we were drawing some big crowds with that. And,
that's a cool ass experience, man.
Yeah.
I know we hopped off this picture to go to the wrestling one, cause I thought you were kind of relating to that picture, but let's
that's me in the middle.
Look at you. You look like a young Ashton Kutcher there, bro.
Yeah, I used to get mistaken for Harvey Keitel, Robert De Niro. And
it's good company.
I did that. Robert De Niro, who's the British actor?
Hello. Let's put another shrimp on the.
There was a Albert Finney. People would come up to me at the airport. Are you Albert Finney? And I say, no, I'm Joey Gaynor, the comedian. But we get, mistaken for each other. And then they ask for an autograph because they're embarrassed. I can't get them. And actually, a couple of years ago, I had a crew cut for something, and which never happened. I'm never gonna get a crew cut again. Fuck that. And. And see, this is my ponytail. It's not neck hair. It's a real ponytail with real hair. Because I don't use those guys with a bald head and a neck hair tied. Don't fuck that. That's bullshit. I will not shave my head. Okay, bald spot and all. I'm not shaving my head because these are the loyal ones. You do not kill the loyal.
They are the loyal ones. Okay? Yes.
Just remember that. Now, anyway, now I lost my train of thought. I got to smoke more pot.
Do it up.
Anyway,
when you were,
I would get mistaken for people. I was in a Filipino fast food place. I can't think of the name of it. It's in LA. It's great stuff. And I'm in there, and a lady comes up to me and says, "Oh, excuse me, but I had my glasses on," and she says, "I just have to tell you, these here, I had these on." Okay, and I'm like this. I'm talking to my friend, and I'm laughing, and okay. And she comes up to me and she goes, "Oh, I love that show you're on with the kids and the two gay guys that are married and your beautiful wife. And then the other kids, the two daughters and the son who's goofy." And I'm looking at her, "Oh, ma'am, I'm not Ed O'Neill." And she goes, Oh, I thought you. I said no. I'm Joey Gaynor. Ed and I get confused for each other all the time. And she goes, oh, I'm the comedian. I said, I'm the comedian actor. That's Ed O'Neill. And she goes, well, can I have your autograph? But I don't want to say to them, no, I'm not. I don't. I try to be, but it's very funny. As long as I'm not mistaken for some kid going, that's him, daddy. That's the man. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, right. You don't need that.
Yeah.
And then who's the last two here? Who's the blonde and then the black dude?
That's Argus Hamilton. And Argus is very, very funny. He and I started out at the Comedy Store the same week in 1976 in March. And I wrote for, we've been friends since then. He had a show. You can still get the reruns on the internet, the Comedy Store website. I believe it's called, or even YouTube. I think it's called The Comedy Store Tonight with Argus Hamilton. And until the pandemic, that was being produced in the basement of the Comedy Store. They have a little studio, and it was a talk show. We had a nice little audience, and I was writing with him, and I was writing for him and everything. And I did the show a couple of times, and it was really good. I had a lot of great guests on the show. Argus is it's really funny because I'm a conservative hippie. When people ask me, what is your idea? I'm a conservative hippie. What does that mean? Go figure it out, okay? You can't figure that the fuck out, okay? It means, I believe in civil rights. I don't believe in insanity. So he and I would write with him, and one of the jokes I wrote for him, and at first he was leery to do it, then he went, no, I got to do it, was I said, well, you could say, by the way, last night Melania was on Hannity, and she said the first time she saw Donald, she was breathless. I said, yeah, because there was only one air hole in the crate. And he went, I'll do it. He did it. It's a good joke. Look, I was a big fan of Joe Biden. Now he's got a lot. He was on the other night on an interview. They asked him, what are you doing now? He says, well, now I'm spending my time golfing, swimming.
It sounds about right.
Yeah, no, look, he got fucked. It really, I mean, you come in and all of a sudden, look, I don't want to get nuts with it. We all know this, the whole thing was nuts. And it's not a fixed election. People voted for who they wanted. Look, I didn't vote for Trump, but hey, he won. So that's the president right now. So I even though I'm not a fan of his, I don't want him to fail. I don't want the country to fucking fail.
Of course.
So that's why, everybody's just, hoping, let's see what happens. So,
well, isn't that the weirdest thing, Joey? It's like, even if you hate, President Trump and you hate Republicans, you should still root for the guy. He's for us.
I don't hate Republicans. I don't hate Americans.
No, I didn't mean you personally. I just meant people.
I mean, there are people that, everybody that's woke is an idiot and everybody that's Republican's an asshole. It's like, no. A lot of people that are woke are very young and don't get it.
Yeah, they're impressionable.
They're looking for a Vietnam to protest.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
They're looking for their Vietnam. Maybe they don't realize that, but that's what they're doing.
Right.
And I remember Vietnam. Man, I still have PTSDs. I didn't go, so I feel I missed out on drugs and pussy. But so I have nightmares. No. I as much as I protested the Vietnam War, okay, and all of that shit, never once have I told a soldier he was a murderer. Made remarks, spit at a soldier, none of that shit.
Right.
People go into the army or whatever for whatever reason, education, a job, or they volunteer. We have a volunteer army now. These people go into the military. They do their job. Right. I don't get mad at them. Yeah. Maybe I don't like why they're being used, and it's like I've told Vietnam vets that are friends of mine. Hey, man, you were over there fighting. I was over here fighting for what? Get your ass out of there, man.
Yeah.
And they'd laugh, oh, okay, because that's, But as
Well,
much
they did
as
have the draft
I,
in Vietnam too.
That's
yeah,
right.
I can't see hating. Look, there's people in this country that are educated. They think they're educated, and they're not. They're not that educated because they're getting all of their fucking news from TikTok and QAnon and all that. Just watch the fucking news on TV and then go check it out. Okay, read the fucking newspaper. You remember those? You in the back there were funnies, and and also the number 054, 052. You could play the numbers. That's what the newspaper was for, kids. So you could play policy.
Yes. But Joey, you gotta
that is.
you gotta think a little bit though. I mean, we were kind of duped by the mainstream media, whether print or TV versions of it during COVID, and a lot of shit was exposed. So
I think that look, I had relatives die from COVID.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's look, it's not a flu. It attacks your organs. It's a whole different ballgame. The thing that was weird to me was that everybody was, what is it? I mean, I'm still baffled by the whole fucking thing. I mean, it was nice that we got money, but I've never been afraid of a vaccine. I've never been afraid of them. I mean, I've been getting them since I'm a little kid: measles, chicken pox, polio, all of that shit. I mean, I go and get, I got the vaccine for the COVID. I also get, at my age, I get the one for the pneumonia and stuff like that, because you just want to, I got the shingles vaccine. That knocked me on my ass, but I'm glad I got it because I don't want to develop shingles. I mean, these are proven vaccines. The fast tracking of the vaccines to fight this was a very good move. That was President Trump did that. Even Gavin Newsom said thank you for that. And when somebody does something good, you do a good thing. I mean, he was scared to panic the public in the beginning. And you can't be scared about panicking the public. You got to say, look, we may have a big problem here. Let's get ready. We're working on this, working on that. That comes with experience and stuff, whatever you want to call it. But I think there was so much. Look, there's so much insane shit on both sides about all of this that what I did, I was very lucky. When I have a bad postnasal drip overnight.
Okay.
Now a lot of women want to be with me.
Joey, real quick before you continue on the thought though. So do you remember when this first happened? So President Trump was the first world leader to close down flights in and out of countries. Like he stopped flights coming from Wuhan, China.
I didn't have a problem with that.
Right. But a lot of perceived notions were in America that he was racist for doing that. So at first they were like, how dare he close down flights from
Obama racist, deporting 6 million illegal aliens?
No.
All right.
Exactly.
So what I was saying was I'm lucky I'm on a medicine called Singlar, which keeps your sinuses and breathing tract open all night.
Okay.
And in 2019, late 2019, I'm listening to the radio. Radio, kids. Used to be great. And I'm listening, and a doctor came on, and he said, well, this is it's not a flu. It's a thing where it closes your organs, it closes your breathing passages. He said, however, people who've been taking Singlar for a year or more seem to be able to get around this because it can't close their breathing passages. The medicine keeps it open. And so I had been on it for over a year, so I was very lucky. I contracted it in 22. I did all the stuff for 10 days. I took Zithromycin and these pills for the cough, which I never developed. And I really never had a fever or got sick. I had ache and pain for a day or two. But a lot of people that are vulnerable, this thing really hurt them bad. I mean, it attacks your organs. I had no problem with them closing down. I mean, this was a pandemic, man. This is what it was. So there's a lot of things that I don't have a problem with. There's other I'm not a social justice warrior. Those people are full of shit. And not all of them. Some of them really mean it in their heart, but a lot of them are just there to be with their friends. And I
Right.
know what that's like. You know, I was a teenager. I was in my 20s. I know what it's like to want to be like your friends. You want to say what they say. You want to do what they do. But, you know, I think when I was younger, we actually had real information because
Yeah.
we weren't bombarded with bullshit all to the left and right.
Right.
I'm looking at my phone every 2 minutes, you know, so.
And the left and the right weren't so far left and
No.
right. They were a lot more center in their
Yeah.
thoughts.
During the Nixon administration, 72, I went underground with my friend and we pretended to be TARs, teenage Republicans, to spy on the Nixon campaign.
Oh, wow.
And tell McGovern campaign, hey, they're going to be campaigning Saturday or whatever. And we had a great time doing that. But this is when I really learned a lot. I met a fellow named Senator Matty Ronaldo, who was a state senator in New Jersey, a Republican. And then we were sitting at the bar of the place I was at. He bought me a Coca-Cola and he says, as a young person, I want to know what you think about Vietnam, this and that. And I said, wow, this state senator is asking me what I think. And we had this great conversation and he agreed with me on a lot of points. And he said, it's a struggle because I'm trying to work with the other side. There's people on my side that don't want to, people on that side don't want to. We're trying to, and blah, blah. And we had this great conversation. And that changed my mind a lot about politics and the whole thing. See, liberal used to mean open-minded. Let me hear everything. I want to hear your idea, idea.
Yes.
Let's get the best. But Clinton was the greatest example of a true liberal. He took the ideas from the Republicans and the Democrats and found, okay, that idea is good, but this part works better with this part. So we're going to take these two ideas and take the best two parts and do. And that's what he did. And I didn't hate George Bush or whatever.
Senior or junior?
Well, I liked Senior.
Yeah.
I liked him a lot. Junior, I thought, was surrounded by some kind of crazy folks, but he wasn't a bad person. He was a good guy. I mean, in his heart, George Bush Jr. is a good guy. He's not I don't think he's
He was certainly like the voice of a leader that you wanted to hear at the time after 9/11.
Oh, he did. Yeah. He stepped in there beautifully.
Yeah.
He did a great job. I mean, you know, look, Iraq was a big mistake, in my opinion, because it destabilized everything. We should have just went through Afghanistan and bombed them into glass. No.
I mean, well, basically,
I'm kidding.
When we went into Iraq, we destabilized that region. As far as like Saddam was a shitty leader, but at least he had that area in check.
Yeah, he was secular. He didn't want nobody leading but him, you know, and George Bush Sr. knew that. That's why we went in. He got him out of Kuwait and we got out. And but anyway, boy, this turned into a very funny political discussion. Anyway, if you want to look at any other pictures,
Joey, let's get back to that because you got some cool ones here, man. Let me go back to sharing this screen. Here we go.
This is my babysitter photo. No.
And then who's the black gentleman?
That's Chris Jackson. And he was an actor and a writer. I think he passed away, but in the movie Vacation, the original Vacation, when they get lost in the ghetto, and Chevy Chase says, "Excuse me, I'm trying to." He's the pimp. Fuck your mama.
Oh wow! Wow.
So, now that's the real Henry Hill.
Get out of here!
No, that's him.
That's cool.
A few months before he passed.
He's just hanging out in L.A. like with the mob.
Lived in L.A.
That's
and
hysterical.
I met him at the Artie Lang show. I went with Blue Iris and my friend Steve Pearl.
You knew Blue Iris, dude?
Yeah. And so we all went to the.
Hi.
Somewhere I have a photo with her.
Hi, can I blow you?
No, she wasn't like that in real life. That was all. But anyway, we went to see Artie Lang at the amphitheater. We're backstage, and this guy comes staggering up the steps, drunk, falling down. And I look at Steve, and I go, "Hey, look, that's Henry Hill." He goes, "How do you know?" I go, "Look at him." And so he comes over to Steve, and he starts asking Steve for a cigarette. And Steve goes, "Hey, you know, I went to school with Marty Krugman's sons," and that was the guy, the wig guy that disappeared.
Oh, yeah.
And Henry just looks at him and goes, "Oh," and he goes running down the other end of the backstage. Then he comes back like 10 minutes later. still wants a cigarette. So Steve gives him a cigarette. We start talking. I'm Steve Pearl. I'm Joey Gaynor, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we go to show. And a year later, I go to this place called Chow Christina's. We're doing a show there called Meatballs of Comedy. And it was mostly Italian comedians. Okay. And I walk in, and all of a sudden, I look over, and Henry Hill jumps up, literally jumps up from where he's sitting, runs up to me and goes, I know you. You're Joey Gaynor, the comedian. I met you with Steve Pearl, and Blue Iris was there, and Artie Lang, and it was at the amphitheater, and he gives me the date, and
Wow.
the cigarette and everything. And I just looked at him and I went, wow, Henry, no wonder you're a great witness.
Oh,
He fucking lost it. He just started, come on, I'll buy you a drink again. So he had two big Samoan guys seating with him. And the Samoan guy leans over to me and goes, we're not here to keep you away from him. We're trying to keep him away from other people. It's all right. It's okay. I said, it's all right. So we sit down, and I tell him I'm friends with the guy, Johnny Roast Beef, that in the movie. I was friends with him. And
did you call him Johnny Roast Beef when you were friends with him?
Yeah, we used to tease him all the time. And I swear to God, I can't think of his fucking name at the moment. But I will. But anyway, we talked, and then he heckled me during my act. And he starts out of nowhere, fuck you, good. And he's yelling. And finally, I just looked at him and went, Henry, you're not in court. You don't have to talk. And again, big laugh and blah, blah, blah. And then outside, I took a picture with him. And people were saying to me, man, you put that picture, people are going to come after you. I said, nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, right. But Joey, why did they stop giving a shit about this guy? Like, he put some serious people away. Like, it just seemed like he was living his life out.
They all died.
I feel like I heard him back on the Stern Show back in the day, and he was like arguing with mob guys that were still
guys would call the Stern Show, you motherfucker, when I see you, and he'd be like, yeah, all right, come and get me. I'll be downstairs after the show.
Yeah,
they ain't gonna do nothing. They're not gonna do shit. They're all telephone tough guys that do that shit. If they were gonna get whacked, if Henry would have been whacked, that photo would have never happened.
Right, and that phone call on the Stern Show probably wouldn't have happened. They would have just waited for him downstairs and popped him.
They would have never. Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I don't come from a family of mob guys or anything, but I mean,
you're from New Jersey. Don't lie to us.
But funny. Now, the funny correlation with Hill was when I was a kid growing up in Newark in the Central Ward during the 60s.
Okay, that's a prime time right there.
Right before the riots, my mom worked in the luncheonette next to our house. Called Joe Grandy's luncheonette or whatever, ice cream parlor. Well, I forget what the name exactly, but she every day I'd come home from school after she started working there after a couple of months, and down the street from us on Hudson Street, about a block down, literally was the United Cab Stand. So that's the cab stand. So there was a big fat guy that worked in there. He's like 400 pounds, named Joe George. And every day, or 3 or 4 times a week, Joe would give me a big white bag, and he'd say, take these meatball sandwiches down to the cab stand with Joe George. Now, don't open the bag. If you open that bag, he's going to throw the sandwiches at you and go crazy. He'll think you touched them. He's crazy like that.
Wow.
Okay. Now, I'm 9 years old. Go down, give him the bag. And he'd hand me $1, $2 tip, and I go home. Oh, okay. And I go to find out years and years later, because I knew that he was a bookmaker, Joe. But eventually I find out about 7 or 8 years ago, I finally located my cousin John down in Florida after like 50-something years. And we're on the phone talking. And I said, well, my mom, she worked in Joe Grandy's place. He goes, Joe Grandy, he was the biggest bookie in Newark. I said, really? He goes, yeah, he was the #1 guy for Provenzano. And I'm like, wait a minute. I was a bag boy for Tony Provenzano.
Wow.
So I was like, wow. Henry Hill is not the only kid that did that shit. There was tons of them. It's just he had a great story.
Right.
One night, we moved after the riots. The city bought our house in 1967. And 1968, we moved. I moved to Jersey City, and I went to another Catholic school that was all diverse. I went to I never knew what I didn't know about. Integration. I didn't understand any of that. I didn't understand segregation because I went to, in Newark, you went to a Catholic school with black kids, white kids, Chinese kids, kids from Babylonia. I mean, they were from everywhere.
Yeah.
And then I went to an all black school when that one closed. I was the only white kid in the all black school, which
I'm sure that didn't turn out okay.
it turned out great. It turned out
Really?
great. Yeah. I got called the N-word, and a kid threw a coat over my head and said, "Welcome to Warren Street School." And then I had to go to principal's office the next day, and they had the 3 kids in there. And the principal, the vice principal says, these boys that threw the coat on you, and a big black guy, Mr. Tully, like what's his name? Idris Elba, like that kind of, that's who he looked like, that kind of guy. And very strict. And these boys that jumped you yesterday. And I said, nah, I said, look, I've only been here 2 weeks. Everybody looks alike. I don't know. Okay. Yeah. Well, you're on your own. And he throws me out of the office. They come out of the office. I'm walking down the hallway. They come out about 5 seconds later. And this one kid, McKinley, goes, hey. And I turn around and I'm like, oh, no. And he goes, come here. He goes, man, you're a stand-up dude, motherfucker. Anybody fucks with you, they got to go through us. So don't worry about shit in this school.
Rock on.
You just have a good time. And I'm,
Nice.
wow. So that's the thing. I didn't snitch, and I always kept my mouth shut.
Like a good boy.
It's like I broke my cherry.
But Joey, think about it. If you didn't move, man, you might have been working for the mob in Ben Henry Hill.
Yeah. Again, my dad died in 63, right before Kennedy. We owned the house, thank God. And it was a really nice piece of property. But we got screwed when my mom sold it. I was too young to be involved in any of that, to say something, because my brother and that were, my brother was 18 years older than me. I was something to do in February of 55. So,
yeah,
I didn't have any authority, because we should have got about $16,000 for the property. We only got $9,500.
Wow.
And, we could have bought a fucking house had the money been right. So, but my mom did the best she could. I'm not mad at her.
Right.
But anyway, no, I have nothing against my mother.
Sure.
She was a great Italian lady. I had my mom and her 6 sisters. That's why I watch The View. All right. I get a kick out of The View because I have it on in the background and it sounds like my aunts in the kitchen. I
just figured out what the problem is with you, Joey. You watch The View. All right. Now it's all coming together.
What do you show on television?
Who's this handsome gentleman you're with here?
That was when I started working with Richard Pryor, and he mentored me, and he really enjoyed stuff I did. I was stunned that he liked what I did, because that's the night we crowned him King of Comedy. That's Paul Mooney. Paul Mooney, the great Paul Mooney, the uncrowned King of Comedy. That was one of the funniest men I ever met in my life. And he also really mentored me. Hi, this is my baby cat. This is Zeta Bella. I'm her fella. She came in, she's been coming in my house for a long time, and then she came in to have her babies in my house.
Oh, get out of here. So it's like a rescue stray cat, and then she had babies?
Yeah, she came in and had the babies, so she picked me to be her buddy. Right?
Way to go.
You're my baby? Oh, yeah, now you don't talk. All right, just sit down. So anyway, that's Diane Cannon.
Hottie, bro.
Okay.
She is gorgeous.
Yeah, she was really hot. She never admits to being there, and I was the court jester. And they were all laughing because they said, Richard, make a speech. And he's standing in front of the microphone, stunned, and he's, I wanna, and this went on for about 30 seconds.
Hey, that's a pretty good Pryor, dude.
Oh, yeah, thank you. And in the court jester outfit, I stepped in and I went, Rich, look, would you fucking hurry up? Would you please? I got to get this fucking suit back by 12, or they're going to charge me for another day.
Wow.
And the place fucking fell out. And opening for him, working with him, sitting with him and talking to him about comedy, talking to him. I mean, this is a man who introduced me to Huey Newton, and we sat down, and I'm sitting there with a historical guy. You know, these people were all huge. This is it was amazing. And like Charlton Heston, people think he was a racist. Not true. I was Mitzi asked me to run the door certain nights when Richard was there because she knew I would do a good job, especially handling celebrities, because I didn't have any problem with a celebrity if they came in. I wasn't indignant. Oh yeah, he thinks he would. No, this guy earned his keep. And Charlton Heston came in one night. I'm looking down the stairs, and there's Moses dressed in a cavalry practice. He had like on a cavalry shirt thing and the boots and the jeans. And he comes up and he goes, "Hi, I'm here to see Richard Pryor." And I go, "Yes, Mr. Heston." He goes, "No, Charlton. My friends call me Charlton, but you can, well, my friends call me Charlie. You can call me Charlton." Okay, Charlton. So I go over and I said, "We're going to have your table ready in a minute." And he says, "Yes, I'm meeting some friends here. Is Reverend Jackson here yet?" I said, "No, he's not here yet." He goes, "Oh, okay. I'm meeting him and Andre Crouch, the gospel singer." I said, no problem. We got you set up. We're just making sure everything is right." And then I looked at him and I said, it just come out. I went, "Look, I know you did all these great movies, Ben-Hur, all of that. My favorite movie you did, I got to tell you the truth, is Major Dundee with Richard Harris." And he looks at me and he goes, "Major Dundee." Yeah. Ooh. Now that. And he stops for a second and he looks off at the wall like there's a vista. You know, he's looking off into, and he comes back to me and goes, "Now that was a swashbuckler." And then he goes, "Charlton." So 2 minutes, 30 seconds later, here comes Reverend Jesse Jackson and Andre Crouch.
Wow.
And I'm seating Charlton Heston with Jesse Jackson, Andre Crouch. I forget who else sat with them. But, see, people have these perceptions. And, it's like I've had young comedians that are young people now. And they go, "Oh, Charlton Heston, yeah, well, he was a racist." I go, no, you don't have any idea. He marched with Dr. Martin Luther King. You don't do that if you're a racist.
Right, yeah.
Okay? You do that if you have a liberal mindset. And liberal has been hijacked. Conservative has been hijacked.
Yep.
Conservative means it got started because you want to save the water and the air and the trees and your country, and you want to, and liberal means we want to hear all the ideas. We embrace everybody. Let's see what's out there, and it's been hijacked, and it's a shame. And that's me and Sam jamming in the main room of the Comedy Store.
Now, let me ask you this, though. The outfit you have on looks like you pulled it out of Kinnison's wardrobe.
Well, it's really funny. I had the beret and the coat. The coat I got right around the time everybody was wearing coats.
Oh, that time.
Yeah, right around. I bought the coat in like 84 and 85, and then I had a beret. And here's a funny story. The truth is, I was at the Comedy Store, and a friend of mine said, "You're wearing a lot of guys were wearing coats. Eddie Brill had a coat. This guy had a jacket. Everybody was, it kind of the duster coat kind of became a style at one point."
Right.
And I had some beautiful fucking duster coats that were, and then I stopped wearing them on stage. This was a night where I had already been on, and now the band was out there, and I had my coat on, and I should have took it off because I had my Jersey Devils shirt on underneath, which is so much cooler than Jersey. Anyway,
where is this? Is this at the Comedy Store?
Comedy Store main room, yeah.
Okay.
And later that night, I gave Sam the red hat. I said, "This is your thing." And then I had a Rastafarian knit cap, beret, and I was up at his house, and about a week later, and I took it off, and I went, "Dude, you know what? I'm not wearing hats, man. I can't be wearing hats. This is your thing." And I put it on his head, and he wore it till he died.
Dude,
I said to Malika, "Does he like that thing?" She goes, "He never takes it off."
Wow. Wow.
And I was like, no shit. She goes, takes a shower, puts it right back on. I went, holy shit. And I swear to God, like on the album with that Rastafari.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I gave him that. And then we had a falling out as he always did. He was mad because I told him when he was going to go do the It Took movie, I asked him at the going away party, how's the script? He goes, oh, I'm going to read it on the plane. What? I said, you haven't read the script? No, I'll read it on the plane and we'll make the changes when we get to New York. I said, no, Sam, how long have you had the script? You know, about 4 months, but fuck them. I went, no, you had to make the changes 4 months ago. You're going to get to New York. They're set to shoot. It's going to be, all right, here we go, and action. And they're going to want you to do that. No, I'm fucking, what do you know about it? And I just worked with Robert Townsend on a bunch of HBO stuff, working with him. And I'm a voracious learner. I'll be sitting there in the background when I'm not even involved, just watching everything, soaking it up, man. At that time, I really wanted to work and know what I really wanted to not just work, but know what I was doing when I got there.
Yeah.
So I tell him this, he gets to New York, they have the whole debacle about it. If you see the movie I Am Sam Kinison, they do it in cartoon form. Actually, they do me in cartoon form too. It's pretty cool. And there's a lot of good people in it. Jimmy Schubert, me, Dan Barton, Jay Leno, people who really knew him, Steve Epstein, people who really knew him, Ted Nugent. We really knew the guy, and it's a really, it's a great documentary on him. And so he comes back from there, and he's pissed at me. And then a month or two later, when he got back, and that was in January, February, he came back, and a couple of months later, Kevin blew his brains out, his brother.
Oh.
And Sam just turned into a different guy, and he didn't bother with me for like 3 years, from late 88 to, well, it was almost 4 years. And then in 92, shortly before he passed, he came back to the Comedy Store, and he came up and he gave me a big hug, and he said, hey man, how you doing? I saw you on HBO and movies and all that, man. No, it's good, man. You're working, man. You know, and I'm like, yeah, Sam, I mean, we all should be working. How are you? You know, what do you want to be friends again? He goes, I was always your friend. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we hugged. Now I knew the guy from the first day he came to LA. He came with his family. He came with a bunch of comics from Houston to do a potluck for Mitzi. And they came on a Saturday night to see the Comedy Store show with his whole family. Sam wasn't a comedian in LA yet. And I said, come to the second show. I'll set you guys up. Steve Martin's going to be on. So he came back with his wife and his brothers, and they all came in, and I set him up with the booth right up by the stage to see Steve Martin. So when the show was over, he came out to me and he goes, well, I made up my decision. I'm going to move here to LA. Yep, this is where I got to be. And he did. And that's when he moved to LA, and he was serious about that.
Wow.
And he came up to me and he gave me a big hug and everything, and we started talking, and we were laughing and stuff. He goes, yeah, I got to go to Laughlin and da-da-da. And let's see, that was in February, March, April. 2 months later, he was killed. And the night he was killed, I had to go on stage. Here I am calling people, crying, you know.
Jesus.
Sam got killed. And then I had to go on stage, and my friend Harris Pete, who was a MC doorman there forever, and he's an actor, did a lot of voices like for Ren and Stimpy and stuff. He's been around, and I came off stage, and I had tears in my eyes again. And he goes, that's one of the best shows I've ever seen you do.
Wow.
I said, well, you know, I said, I'm sure he's watching. And I really, you know, Sam and I had ups and downs. Sam was crazy. If you see the movie, you'll see that, you know, he had a head injury when he was a kid, and he was never the same.
Yeah.
He was a mess.
Right.
He was a hot mess. But, you know, underneath there was a lot of times it was somebody that cared, and a lot of times it was somebody who was just wacko, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But I enjoyed the time I spent with him. I'm glad I did. You know, I'm glad I got to spend that time.
Fuck yeah. Cool. Comedy legend, man. It got a little sad at the end, but I mean, when he was on fire, I mean, there was nobody better than him. He was doing something of comedy that hadn't been done before. He was cooking. He could cook. That's me when I am 19 years old. All right, man. What are we doing here? I'm singing with in the band Brushfire. Brush fire.
Nice.
LA City College in the Battle of the Bands.
Rock on, dude. And then this is really cool.
On 1st and 10. That's Don Gibb, Ogre, and that's me, Frankie the Rat, telling him he's just got benched.
He just got benched.
What does that mean if they're starting putts? They're going to start putts? I go, yeah, they're starting putts. And he goes, what does that mean? He goes, what does that make me? And I go, chop liver. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Don was great to work with. He was really cool.
Yeah, he's awesome, dude. In a
OJ
bunch of great movies.
Yeah, OJ was my my agent's golf buddy, and I actually got along very good with him. That's me and Chris Rock, the great, incredible Chris Rock.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think when Will Smith slapped him on stage?
Well, Chris is not a big person.
Right.
It made me lose respect for Will Smith, that he's an attention-seeking fucking punk.
Yep.
If that would have been me and he'd have slapped me, I would have laid down and I've been talking like this till now until the check clears.
That's right.
So
That's right.
Chris was very classy about it. I mean, but I've lost all respect for, I don't give a fuck. I mean, Will Smith, I mean, that's bullshit.
100%.
100%. Yeah.
The guy's 6 inches taller than him, fucking 30 pounds, 50 pounds heavier than him. I said at the time, if it was Chris Rock doing it, yeah, he's going to go up and do that. If it was The Rock who said it, he would have sat there like a little bitch and done nothing.
Exactly. He would have been laughing and everything, looking at his wife, making faces. And
Right. It was such a blasé joke, too. He said, oh, I'll see you in G.I. Jane, too. Like, it was such a nothing,
Ridiculous.
like, no harm joke.
That made fun of Demi Moore and her at the same time.
Yep. But it wasn't even. It was like a hot joke. I mean, Demi Moore was hot in it. She had a shaved head.
Hot.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Landman. Woo. And that other. Yeah, no. If you haven't seen Landman, it's worth getting Paramount.
It's phenomenal.
And you can see me in Paramount's blockbuster perennial Christmas film, All I Want for Christmas, with baby Thora Birch.
Yeah, baby.
Baby Thora Birch.
I think that picture's there.
Well, Joey, the way we do this is we always leave our audience wanting more from the guest, and we have plenty more to talk to you about. So do you want to give the audience anywhere that they could find you if you promote social media?
There's 2 different Facebooks. There's Joey Gaynor, and then there's Mr. Integrity Joey Gaynor. You'll know the Facebook that I'm on the most is the one with the crowning of Richard Pryor, King of Comedy, and all of that. Get me there. Get me on Instagram. I believe it's at Joey Gaynor 55, but you'll find me on there. I'm actually starting to put up stuff.
Hey now.
Nice.
I want to get on Don't Tell. I'm serious. I'm starting to get back out there. There's the Don't Tell comedy thing is great. See Andy Huggins is Don't Tell. He's my buddy and he's hysterical on there. He's also got a special on Tubi. Yeah. Andy's 75 now or 70.
Okay.
And I've known him over 40 years and he's blowing up. And I mean, and people say to me, don't you get tired of doing stand-up? Never. When it was taken away from me because I got sick, that's when I realized how much I missed it. You don't miss anything till it's gone.
Right.
Cool.
And the fella in the middle, you keep interrupting. Listen,
I know.
I just want to say to everybody out there, whoever's, I know you got a lot of listeners and everything and viewers. My take on all of this is I want everybody to have a great year, not just a great day, and stop fighting with each other. Okay, fuck this bullshit libertard and you don't like that song, you're a racist. It's got to stop. Yeah. Again, if a country votes in a terrorist organization to be their leader, they've been duped. Okay, and when 28 countries attack one country, that's not cool. So, I mean, what I'm saying is I don't any type of terrorism or whatever. I don't support. And look, I support Israel. I got Jewish relatives. What am I going to do? Go in there and go, hey, what do you guys do? No, it's just, and I don't hate the Palestinians or whatever. We just got to get back to to recognizing we're all human. There's only one human race. We just happen to come in all kinds of flavors.
I heard it was Joey Gaynor for Hamas that you were chanting.
No, that was hummus.
Oh, hummus.
Hummus, yes.
I'm in hummus.
That makes sense. Now we're getting it.
Well, we got a lot of people that are just misread, like I misled, and like I said, they misread, and it's they just want to be part of something, but they're not delving deep enough.
Yeah,
And when they do, it's surface news.
Right.
It's they. But anyway, you guys are great. I really enjoyed it.
Tell great stories.
I'd love
We
to invite
appreciate
you
it.
over right now for some muscatel and pot.
Hey now, let's go. Muscatel.
Muscatel. Yeah. So, but by the way, go Knicks.
Yeah.
Any Knicks fans who don't think they're real, they just clobbered a great team last night. So if you don't think the Knicks are real, and you're going to come on Facebook and you're going to start that troll shit about, they can't be bought by it, blow me. I don't want you to do that. It's, but anyway.
If you do blow them, we'll put it on pay-per-view. Joey, it has been our pleasure to have you on, dude. We're definitely going to have you on again.
Yeah, let's do it.
You're fun, man. Enjoy the rest of your
You guys
day.
are based in New York, right?
Jersey, and then he's Cali.
Oh, okay. All righty. Cali and Jersey. Okay, cool. Now
and then he's got a nice ass studio in York, Pennsylvania. We go from every now and again.
Cool.
But it's almost a little too pimp for us. We're not as professional as the studio. Joey, again, thank you so much, man.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless.
Care.
God bless. Be good.
2024.
The one and only Joey Gaynor. Yes, and yes.
Oh yeah,
that was fun. Man,
amazing, great stories. I mean, I was just letting him talk about his stories. So
same. I
wasn't much I could say.
Right, got to let him go. Let him go.
Freaking awesome. Yeah, great. I mean, the history he has in show business is just amazing. People.
Crazy, dude. The Sam Kinison thing is nuts. That fucking Rastafarian hat was his.
Yeah, that famous cap is his, man. That's fucking wild.
That Sam wore the entire and then the beret. Like I was making that comment, like, oh, would you raid fucking Sam's comment? And it was vice versa. Sam raided his comment because I remember the red beret. You remember Sam wearing the red beret and then fucking that thing. It's crazy. I wonder if that's a Gracious 2 podcast exclusive. Like, I wonder if that information is out there before. Might not be.
Could be.
We'll have to ask him next. 100% we're claiming it. 100%. What are you doing, Rob Bobby Yankee?
Nothing. I was just enjoying that show. That was great.
Look how high Bobby is, Chad. Look at those eyes.
Hi, bro.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah. Barely keep them open. He's like, yeah, man, that was great, dude. Anywho, what up, Bobby? You have anything for Bobby's World?
Play that video of the black dude crying.
Play that video, Bobby.
Yeah. It's so great. Makes me laugh every time I watch it.
So good.
Yeah, this is funny.
Before you put that up there, Bobby, I'm just gonna overlay this real quick.
Overlay.
The chats. Oh, it only goes down to the bottom there. Now he's muffled. I was just gonna put up the chat and say hello to everybody. Hello, everybody. We see you. Talk to you later.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Invest $600 billion into America. No. Countries used to always make us give them money, and now he's making countries invest in America. Our tax money always went to Ukraine, Africa, and other countries, and we used to get mad, but now he's making countries give us money. Now they all want to invest in America. He's trying to make America great again. What are we gonna do? America keeps getting better by the day. Why is Trump doing this? We gotta stop him.
Yo, Chad, was that made before or after the Selena Gomez video?
It was before. Okay, I saw it a few days before the Selena Gomez video. Yeah.
Oh wow. I thought maybe he saw that and then
But
did
there's
it.
tons of videos of of these liberals crying online about just whatever Trump's doing. He's
Yeah.
taking away our rights. Blue. It's like, okay, yeah, he's not taking away any of your rights. You're good.
I wanted to try this on here. Wait a second. Did you hear that, Chad?
I did hear that.
I want to try and share this and see if Siri works. All right, so like I wanted to see this right here. MAGA, no. Right here. Trump Justice Department fires officials. So yeah. So rather than like pulling this article up and reading the whole thing, I wanted to see if I could why is that? Okay. Am I retarded?
I don't know what you're trying to do.
I'm trying to select. I guess I'll just do Command A. I was trying to do select all, but for some reason it wasn't allowing me. Oh, yeah. And then can you see the screen here, Chad?
Yeah.
Okay. So now if I go to writing tools and hit summarize, can you see this screen?
Yep. Yep.
Bomb, dude. So we don't have to read a whole article. So the Trump Justice Department has fired over a dozen officials involved in investigating Trump and launched a special project into January 6 cases. The project, led by interim U.S. Attorney Ed Martin, investigates prosecutors who brought obstruction charges against January 6 rioters, raising concerns about Trump's DOJ investigating the investigators. Martin, a hardline conservative, has praised Trump and successfully lobbied for the release of the January 6 defendants. Okay, cool. So now we could pull up big-ass articles and have Siri summarize for us. And
Perfect.
yeah, man.
Yeah, that's great.
Because, sometimes you want to pull up an article, but you don't want to fucking read 9 pages.
Yeah.
So that'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else, boys?
I think we're good.
So here's a picture of the last Blockbuster.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, was it in Bend, Oregon? Is that where it was? I thought it was Bend.
Yeah. That's it.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Take me back, man. That was a fucking special time. Remember, you would rent the movie, it'd fucking suck after 20 minutes, but you still watched it because it was like the movie you rented. You're like, fuck, I gotta finish this.
2019, it was the last one in the world. I think it closed during COVID, right?
Wow.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
This fucking Blockbuster held on through all the closing of Blockbuster, and COVID got rid of it. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Survived everything but COVID. Insane. That's what I was going to get into with Joey, because he seems to be very left-minded. I was going to ask, say,
well,
a lot of people think,
centrist. I mean, I'd give him centrist. He's, not a Trump fan. That's fine. Whatever.
No, I don't think he's ultra left.
Yeah.
But he described himself as a liberal hippie.
Conservative hippie.
Conservative hippie?
That's what he said, yeah.
Oh, they said liberal hippie. But anywho, he I was, because he was saying, it was bad, people were dying, and I was going to raise the thing, like a lot of people said that closing down for so long was worse than
It was.
Yeah.
It destroyed a lot of business. It destroyed the whole economy.
Right.
We're still paying for it. No, we're going to be paying for it for the next 50 fucking 100 years.
Yep.
Crazy. We printed more money in those 4 years than ever.
By like trillions of dollars.
Yeah.
It was something crazy. Like, I forget what they printed, but it was fucking nuts, man.
Yeah.
What else?
Oh, I have some here. Vladimir Putin is reportedly seeking to have Anthony Fauci extradited to Russia.
Yeah, he's been talking about that for a few days.
To face COVID era crimes against humanity, charges as part of a deal to end the war in Ukraine.
Can you imagine that we have fucking Vladimir Putin doing the right thing against Fauci and not our President Biden?
I would imagine.
We can extradite him.
Well, yeah, but we have to allow him to, But I don't know. Well, yeah. I mean, so in other words, if he's pardoned, Trump could be like, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
He's pardoned for crimes here.
Yeah,
exactly. That's the whole point.
Yo, that would be pimp as fuck, dude.
Yes, it
Because,
would.
well, you know, Trump and Putin are best friends. They've been cahooting for so long now.
Oh, that's what they say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Best friends.
Besties. World War III. Look out, you fucks. It's coming. Anything else before we say goodbye to our lovely audience? Please like, share, subscribe, follow.
There you go.
All that
Good
jazz.
Oh, I want to see one thing. Check this out. Tell me this doesn't look like pre-programming for 9/11. Hold on a second.
It doesn't look like pre-programming for 9/11.
No, tell me that it does. It looks complete. And this was made in 1950. It's a Godzilla movie. Watch this shit.
Godzilla.
Okay, whatever. I'm gonna watch some of this, and then right away, there's a building in
Wow.
I went, what is this?
What does that look like to you?
No. I went,
That's
look at
insane.
this.
That is insane.
Guys, I watched a lot of
1950s.
how Godzilla takes down buildings. First off, does that look familiar to you? I'm not going to say much more. Two guesses, but you're only going to...
Wait, but isn't that supposed to be the Empire State Building?
That's crazy.
No, it's just supposed to be a building in Japan.
Looks just like the steel structure. It's fucking crazy.
No, I think that's the Empire State Building.
Resources with an implosion, an inward. And I went, really? Really? You have derailed. It's an
Yeah, for real. That's crazy.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's definitely you're funny with that stuff, Bobby. Like you fucking pull up clips from Back to the Future and you think the fucking pine thing is like representative of 9/11. Like you got a lot of those things where you draw conclusions that, you know, are a little far-fetched. Like twin pines from fucking Back to the Future.
Things have been pre-programmed and people have been desensitized. You know what the CIA said in the 50s or the 60s? They said their objective is to have the whole American public, what they know and what they understand, to be the absolute opposite of the truth. That's what they said. That's what they said. That's their goal.
Who said that in the CIA and how did it get released?
A Congress hearing. It was a congressional hearing. Yeah, you could look it up. It was during like.
You're telling me a CIA director or something said this to Congress?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. You could look.
Wow.
You could look. Next show, I'll find it. I'll bring it for the show.
Wow.
Let's do
That's
it. Love to see that.
crazy. Yeah, me too.
You've heard that, haven't you, Chad? Did you hear about that?
Well, I haven't heard that exact thing what you're saying, but I mean,
I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up.
The CIA has infiltrated media and newspapers and movies and Hollywood in order to put out crazy fucking messages for sure.
Right, but to fucking say that in front of Congress and Congress not doing anything about it, that's a fucking bit much, man.
I'm gonna see if I can find it for the next show.
Well, they're all scared of the CIA.
Yeah, but I mean, that's
The
a little
oversight
fucking
committee
crazy.
is scared of the fucking CIA. The CIA oversight committee in Congress is scared of the CIA. So who's overseeing them if they're scared of them?
Exactly.
Right. Well, the only person not scared of him is our fucking president, as he has shown. That motherfucker don't care. He's like, fuck you guys.
Yep.
I'm coming. And when I come like the thunder.
But tell me, that building imploding like that, and the structure of the building didn't look exactly like the World Trade Center.
It was similar.
It was similar, but you sure that's not from fucking Godzilla, the Japanese movie, and it's the Empire State Building? Because that's what it looked like to me.
Oh, it was supposed to be Godzilla, but it's in Japan, not in New York.
The first Godzilla movie was in Japan, was made in Japan, but it was
1950.
But it was based in New York. It was filmed in Japan, but it was based in New York.
No, this was in Japan. Godzilla was released from.
Oh, I'm thinking of King Kong, not Godzilla.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What's the fucking one that goes on top of the Empire State Building with the girl? Okay,
King Kong.
That's the one I'm thinking of. That's what that looked like to me.
You remember the video game you in the arcade where you could destroy the buildings and stuff?
Yeah.
You remember that back in like the 80s and the 90s?
No, I was doing wholesome things. I wasn't destroying buildings. I was playing with Barbies.
Right.
Arcade game.
Wholesome. I was making them scissor. I was doing very cool shit with my Barbies.
You're taking Ken's lack of genitals and Barbie's lack of genitals. Here you go.
Yep. And I licked them both.
The front or the back?
Oh, come on now. The whole thing, dog.
I licked it from the front to the back. Come on.
Right.
Man.
That is
watch some breakdowns of lefties?
No, I don't want to watch a breakdown of what?
Of
no, no. We got to talk. I gotta. Let me think how to say this. I gotta edit you. Like, you got to realize that we can't watch a fucking 10-minute video to get to a 30-second point. So when you pull videos, we got to have like the clips that you want ready to go. Like, we can't be sitting through.
It's ready to go.
No, it's okay. Let me say. Go ahead, put it up. You ready, audience? All right, here we go.
Whoopsie, and it took you 5 minutes to realize. It's not good enough. It's really not good enough. And what do you do when you make such a grave error of judgment?
What I did when they were sitting by themselves, I approached them and said I screwed up, didn't I?
Wait, what are we watching here?
This is about somebody misgendering people.
Well, this is not what you said you were putting up, but okay.
Breakdowns over Trump's executive order on genders.
Our new president has declared on day one of his presidency that our country will no longer recognize.
Is that a filter or makeup?
No, that's makeup.
It's makeup.
Person who lives in the United States of America. I'm a New Yorker. I live in New York. I'm not going
I'm glad I never saw you.
All right. Okay. So if I'm no longer a human, legally speaking, of course.
You are. You're a fucking male, female.
This
the only two.
Appreciation Day. I am going to go commiserate with my fellow queer people at my favorite lesbian bar, ready for the circus.
Roll up, roll up. Is that circus recruiting?
And as long as you draw a breath, every breath you take is a rebellion. Keep
Dude, all right. Like, why are there no normal looking people like saying this stuff? Like,
exactly.
Well, now the code word going around is cute. Is it cute winter boots?
Cute winter boots.
Cute winter boots. So these people on like TikTok, they're talking about revolution. That's what cute winter boots means. They're gonna start a revolution.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
What are they gonna do?
And it's like their code word that they didn't think anyone was gonna catch on. Like
with their blue hair and their blue braces.
Yeah.
It's like those kinds of people are gonna take up arms and start a revolution. Good fucking
I'm gonna
luck.
throw glitter on him. How dare he?
Exactly. Good
No,
luck.
but I mean, are they not understanding? Like, there's two genders. That doesn't mean that you can't be gay, you can't be a trans person, but you're just biologically a male or a female.
Right.
You still have all your sexual rights. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
There's just
You want. Yeah.
right. It's just that if you're born a male, you can only do male things, like go in a male bathroom or play a male sport. Even if you transition and you use your mental illness to get a different sexual organ, you're still physically a male. And there's only two genders in the world, period, end of story, male and female. That's it. That's all he did. He wasn't taking away LGBTQI plus rights or fucking anything like that. It's like crazy that people want to get worked up over nothing.
Well, the first openly gay Treasury Secretary was just confirmed. His pick.
And not a DEY, but an actual fucking
he's
earned spot.
He's merit based. He's qualified, but he's openly gay. But so that's my point is, why would he, if he's anti-gay, he's going to take away all your rights. Why is he putting an openly gay person at?
At least he doesn't dress like a woman, like the health secretary.
It's got to be so.
That's a whole different situation.
It's got to be so frustrating to be called fucking racist and fucking homophobe and all this stuff when you're not, and you actually have these people's backs and you've had for a very long time, and you get fucking, labeled as something that you're not. It's crazy. It would drive me fucking nuts.
Yeah. Well, at this
Anyway,
point, the labels don't mean shit anymore. Like, all the Nazi and the fucking bullshit. It's like no one cares anymore. It's like you've overused it. It's the boy who cried wolf. We don't care anymore. You can call us Nazis and fucking bigots and racists and all the bullshit you want. No, we don't fucking care. It's like it just doesn't mean anything.
Right.
That's the whole
It
point.
doesn't. Yeah.
Especially, when you know you're not. It's just
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
come on, bitches.
Yeah. Anyway,
Chris
Yep.
Freeman said is people looking for their 15 minutes of fame, which I agree with too.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I agree with
100%.
that. Of course.
100%.
All right, gracious audience. Thank you for joining us on this Gracious Tuesday. Chad and I are your hosts. Bobby is your fuck up. And just playing with you, Bobby. We love you. Say goodbye to them so I can shut you off real quick.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a good day. Have a good year.
Bye-bye, Bobby.
I guess Bobby's gone for the year, folks. He just said bye for the year. Alrighty then. But we do love you guys out there. Thank you for coming on this journey. We'll probably get to Instagram show this week. Chad and I will talk afterwards, figure out the day and all that, promote it for you guys. But thanks. And peace.
Peace.